Vladimir from Charlotte Pro Roofing. This is Joel from JND SEO. I spoke to Laura today and she told me that I could send this video over and you'd be the person to send it to. So I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can beat your competition online. And I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. But at the end of the video, you want to hear more information, definitely you can ask me any questions you'd like. And if not, no problem at all. I've actually got a bunch of free tips and strategies in here that are helpful for really any business online. All right, so the 3 things we'll talk about today are content, citations, and backlinks. So just starting out, we'll talk about some content. And I'm on your homepage. So Google recommends having about 1,500 to 2,000 words of content on your homepage. And the reason that you want that much is because if you have that much content, then you're essentially offering a service, helping other people with all that information and informing them, teaching them something online. And that's what Google really wants. You guys also do have a blog, which really helps you as well. Google really loves blogs because, again, they do the same thing. They teach people things. They have tips in them. They're very helpful for people, and they're going to help Google out as well. I'm actually going to pop over here to Charlotte Roofing Specialists. They're one of the top results in the Charlotte area. That's why I want to use them as an example. And the reason why people might ask why is because that's who your competition is. That's who you want to beat in order to take that spot or to get some of the traffic or visitors that they're getting. So if we look at their page, they also do not have the 1,500 to 2,000. But they also do have a blog just like you guys have. And so that's going to help them with that. But then again, if they have a blog, you have a blog, obviously adding more content to kind of beat them in that would help you to overtake them as well. All right, but the other reason that you do want that much content is because the more content you have on your page, the more keywords and keyword phrases you can put into that content. So as an example, I've just put in roofing, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a great one because it has a lot of volume attached to it. A lot of people search this every single month. It's also what new customers are gonna search for when they're looking for a service. First thing they'd see are these ads. The second thing they're gonna see brings us to our second tip of the day, which is citation. So in this section here, this is called the map section. People also call it the GMB or Google My Business. And this is all based on citation. So top 3 companies in any area show up here based on citations in this little preview window. And that's just when you get your business name, address, and phone number all listed together into a directory site. These are sites like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Home Advisor. They also can help to have your social media linked to that. So even like Facebook, and I think you guys have some of these up here. So Facebook, Twitter, you've got Google, you've got LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Pinergy. All of those can all be citations as well, as long as those 3 pieces of information, the business name, address, and phone number, are exact. So for instance, for Charlotte Roofing Specialists, they have LLC here. If they don't have LLC on any one of those other ones, it's not going to link properly and it's not going to count. So you got to make sure everything is exact. After that, we're going to get to our organic section, so we start to see companies show up. And these are all based on our key phrase that we searched, roofing, Charlotte, North Carolina. So number 1 goes to Baker Roofing, 2 goes to Charlotte Roofing, which is our example site here, and 3 is going to go to Home Advisor, which is a directory. And then we have Better Business Bureau, which is also a directory. Directories are pretty easy to beat because Google really would prefer to have local companies ahead of those. And I've used Charlotte Roofing because I actually like some of their keywords better than Baker Roofing, and I think eventually they're going to pass them. So that's why I've used them as my example. So for you guys, next I've taken your website, charlotteproroofing.com, plugged it into a program I use called Ahrefs. And this brings us to our third tip today, which is going to be the backlinks, and we'll pair the referring domains with those. But first, just quickly mention that you guys do have your headers up here. And this is a great way for Google to find you a little bit easier. You've got your business name as well as a keyword, which is good. And if we go over across, they have the same thing with their name as well as some keywords as well. All right, so back to you guys. So you guys do have 135 referring domains right now, sending you back 916 links to your site. All that means is there's 135 websites out there that you guys have links on these websites. It could just be like a hyperlink, like for your Facebook, for instance, if you had under the web section and you have a link to your page, charlotteproroofing.com, that would be a referring domain. But sometimes it's a picture that somebody maybe took from your site or that you've actually given permission to use with your link on it. If they click it, it will redirect them to your site. It could be a button as well, maybe like a top 10 list of, in there as well that links back to you guys for your name. And so on these 135 sites, you have the 916 links. So, there's a little bit more than like eight and change of links per website there if we're doing the average. And these also work as these sites giving you guys basically some kind of they're building your brand essentially. So they're vouching for you by pointing back to you, right? So the more of these you have, the stronger your site is. And that's going to show up in your trust here with a 24. So that's pretty good, which tells us that your links are pretty good quality as well as your referring domains. Better quality you have, the higher this number goes as well as quantity. Next up, you guys have 520 keywords. These are what you can be found for in Google searches, like what we put in Roofing Charlotte as our example. And these are what bring the visitors to your site. As we can see, you've got 884 visitors right now coming to your site. All right, so I'm going to hop over to Charlotte Roofing and just show you what they've got. They've got a little bit higher trust than you with a 34, which is probably why they're ranked ahead of you. 118 referring domains, so very similar numbers. Backlink 694. So basically, they've got a very similar amount, which probably tells me that they probably have a few that are a little bit higher quality maybe than you guys have. And so it's just really close there. It's a pretty close race here. And then 179 keywords is what they currently can be found for. And that's bringing about 907 actual visitors to their site, per month. It's on a monthly basis. So what we're going to do is I'm going to first look at your keywords, and then we'll go look at some of theirs and kind of see the difference there. So we can quickly see the keywords, see where your traffic's coming from. You guys do have a few more of the keywords with kind of the near me. These do come up as national keywords because it's not a specific location. It's just near me, which Google does know how to filter out generally. Almost any search you do, they're going to ask if you want to turn on your location. But that's why you see such gigantic volume with 4,000 because it's a national phrase. And so you guys are in the 5th position for that, and you're getting about 179 visitors of that 4,000 by being in the 5th position. There is a chance, though, that some of these potentially could be not in your area if people either didn't turn on that, because the 5th thing that shows up is going to be you guys. We know there's 10 results per page. Number 5 puts you on the first page, which is good, but it puts you about right in the middle there. Also, skylight installation near me for this one, you guys, number 12, which puts you on the 2nd page, and you're getting basically 45 of the 2,500. I actually prefer ones like this, except maybe not the supply group as much, because it's just not as much volume. So like this one right here, this is a really good one. Roofing Charlotte, North Carolina. These are the ones I prefer. You get a smaller volume with 200, but it's not national. We know it's in your location. And the bigger percentage you get, obviously, you know for sure you can help them. No second guessing it at all. You're not going to get anyone from another state. And so being number 4, you're going to get 19 visitors of that 200. If you were number 1 for that, usually you get about 20 to 35% of the volume. So being number 4, you guys obviously are getting about, half of the 19. You're getting probably about 9.5% or so, or 9%, we'll just call it. Of that, so not quite as much, but still better than if you see number 18 here on this one, Charlotte Pro Roofing, and you guys aren't getting anything from that one because you're on the 2nd page. So you're getting the 18, but sorry, I read that wrong. You're actually number 1 for that one, and you're getting 18 of the 50, so you're getting a much higher percentage being number 1, which kind of shows us that. So what I want to do next, we're going to hop over to your competitor. They actually do have a couple of the near me's as well. But you see Roofing Charlotte, North Carolina, 200 here. Number 1 for that one. So they're going to get 65 of the 200. That's kind of the difference that you can see. Charlotte Roofing, 100 people search it like that. They're number 1, getting 36 of that. So they're getting, 36%, which is even higher than what I had said with 35. But right around that, Roofer Charlotte, North Carolina, 150. Being number 2 for that, they're going to get 25 of that 150. So I'm not as big on the near me's. Obviously, they can bring you in some good volume. But I do prefer the ones with the more specific location and the service. And, obviously, the more of those you have with the higher ranked, the more visitors you're going to get. And I would encourage you to even expand out a little bit to other areas that you might service, and that would just help you bring in even more. All right, so guys, that's just a little bit of information. Like I said, we talked about content, citations, and backlinks. If you guys had any questions or you want to hear more, definitely reach out. Now that you have the information, you guys can either, if you're happy with where you're at, you're not looking to grow, obviously you don't have to do anything with the information. If you have someone you guys use, then, definitely show them this video. Maybe there's even one or two little things in here that they could help you guys out. So do that. Number 3, if you guys either don't have someone you currently use, or if you're not happy with them, then that's the third option. And I'm just talking about a conversation. Just see, if you guys have any questions I could answer for you. Thank you guys for your time. Really appreciate it, and have a great day.